Welcome back to the Deebo and Joe Show. I'm your host, James Deebo Harrison, and here with my co-host, Joe Haden. Please make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. You don't want to miss nothing. How you doing today, Joe?
Great day, great day. Another day on the pod with my good man, Deebo. Can't wait to get into these topics, man. There was a lot going on, a lot of things to talk about.
Definitely, definitely. The first thing we're gonna talk about though is how UNC went over there and got their face beat in
Got to.
48 to
Okay.
40, 48 to 14, man. I guess that was Bill's welcome to college party, I would say.
It wasn't no joke. He's letting them know, man. These boys did not come to play. TCU was not playing with them, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at it, I think the defense, personally, just looking at it, they just got dominated. I think on both sides of the ball, when you look at it, the offensive and defensive lines, they were getting moved around.
The whole game. The
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
game.
the whole game. On top of that, you got guys not catching passes. You got guys missing tackles, dropping punts. Everything that when I was there that they harped on fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? See what you're supposed to see, be where you're supposed to be, and do what it is that you're supposed to do. And you had guys that just looked like they were totally out of position.
Yeah.
Holes, big plays. It was nothing like you normally see of a.
They looked lost, Debo. They
Yeah.
looked lost. They looked like they were ill prepared and uncoached. And that is not what you see in the Bill Belichick type defense or his team. The one thing they're going to do is be coached. They're going to have eye discipline. They're going to tackle. They're going to be in the right position. It's not, they might not be the most athletic people, but the one thing they're going to do is they're going to be in the right place and make the right play at the right time. They looked completely lost. When they first started off the game, it was all good. The first drive, first pass, cross, big
Mhm.
over, boom, everybody's hyped. First drive, they score. And from that, it's funny how the
What was
tables
it like?
turn.
40 something
Bro,
unanswered, like
40,
nonstop
40
before they
some
even.
unanswered. That's exactly what it was, Debo.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
That's that.
he threw the pick
That's not
six.
something. That's not something you could do, man.
No, the pick six before halftime killed
Mhm.
them. And then coming out of
I
half,
don't think that killed him. I think they didn't regroup at halftime. Normally, when you get in there, especially when I was there with Bill, he has a plan, in place, and he puts that plan in place. And okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to adjust to.
Mhm.
And you come out, you adjust to it. And I think he's very good at adjusting to halftime. But again, you're in college. You know what I'm saying? And it's a difference between college and the pros. How
I'm
hard do you think it is to go from coaching in the NFL to college?
I think it's I think it's very hard. I think because when you have professionals that understand that it's not no longer we're not doing this for fun. This is our profession. This is our job. What's on film is our resume.
Mhm.
So you're speaking to grown men, and when you tell them one time, they shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't make the same mistake twice in the league, or you're gonna be out the way. In college, it's more. Man, like, do you get this or do you don't? You know what I'm saying? I think it's harder to coach those kids than it is to coach professionals. And now with those kids being NIL guys, these kids are also now getting paid. These kids are also now looking
Yes.
at Bill like, what you gonna tell me? You know what I'm saying? I'm making $1 million here playing a little game. I can go somewhere else next year. You know what I'm saying? I got this. So not being able to have the maturity of like you can't really coach these dudes up because now they looking at you like who you talking to, you know what I'm saying, instead of the respect factor that he used to have in college where you Coach Meyer, when he was telling us what to do, he was the law. There's nothing over Meyer. Meyer's not going to let us play. If,
Hmm.
if we go somewhere else, you had to sit out a year. You couldn't just
Right.
go to another school and then go play. No, you had to
Hmm.
go do what Cam did. He went JUCO, then he had to go to Auburn. There's steps. So kids are acting a little bit different. So I think that's going to be a whole lot tougher for him to coach. But I was saying, like you said too, the halftime part. Pick going into the second half. Now you have the whole halftime to figure it out, get
Right.
your changes, get your execution. First
Mhm.
play, Debo, the man ran 75 yards untouched and scored again right out of halftime. The
Yeah,
first play
and
to
that
this,
that's not
you
that's
had
not the adjustment you want to
that's
come
not
out
you didn't
with,
do any
you know.
adjustments. You
and
look
and that's
crazy.
something else. The big difference, is you're recruiting now. You actually have to go out here and
Mhm.
find the guys that you need to get. That's a whole nother process. You don't have a whole scouting department to go out there and get what it is that you need
No.
to get. Again, you have grown men, out here. They're trying to put
Yeah,
food on their table. They're trying to feed their family. It's going to be a lot more motivation to go out there and get it done. Where you got these, 17 to 20 something year old kids, and they got money in their pocket now. A
exactly.
50,000, $100,000. That's a big thing to them. And I
They're
think
up.
another thing with college is that they've really limited the amount of time. I think that's what we're seeing in the tackling. They've limited the amount of time that these guys could go out here and do live drills, go and tackle, go and, perfect their craft. And I think that's a big issue of why we were seeing, so many missed tackles.
No, I think so too. You're exactly right. I mean, it's live reps. They're taking
Hmm.
out the live reps. They want dudes to. They're trying to protect people's heads and all of the protocols.
Right.
Being able to go full speed and get those live tackling reps, being able to get those angle tackles, that
It's a
doesn't
big, yeah,
happen.
it's a big difference between running up here and breaking down. Oh, I was formed up, ready to go. Okay, but what happens when he decides that he's not going to cut away from you and he lowers his shoulder into you?
He's gonna dip
Now
on
he's
you.
going to run you over.
Yes, he's gonna
That's
dip
things that in practice you have to go through.
for
You have
sure.
to be able to, get that day in and day out so that when you get into that game, you know what? I can see the adjustment. It may be a little late, but I'm not going to miss this whole tackle because I've been coming up here all practice, squatting down, form fitting, looking pretty. And now, he go ahead and he put that right down on my ass. And I'm sitting there on my back with my feet kicked up in the air, like,
Yep.
like a horse that done got put down.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Because then dude can run all the way up to the right position, stand there,
Hmm.
and then look, bam. Now you don't
Yes.
get back. What you gonna do when you get there? You gonna
Mhm.
drive through him? Are you gonna go through the target? Or are you gonna become, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
a speed bump?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't I don't dang man. I don't think I would ever go from coaching in the NFL to coaching in college because again, especially in today's era, you lose a lot of the motivation that,
Hmm.
guys have, when you're in the pros versus now in college, you got some of these guys out here, they could mess around and actually make, generational money, millions of dollars if they're smart with it and have it,
Hmm.
financial understanding of what it is they need to do. And you're sitting here as their position coach trying to tell him what to do. That's a hard role to hold.
1,000%, man. A
Yeah.
1,000%. They had that role over us because we couldn't even do anything. That name, image, and likeness. You couldn't get a
Mhm.
haircut. You couldn't get a free
Right.
tattoo. I mean, T. Sherrill Pryor got kicked out of school for getting free tattoos. Like that's
Right.
crazy.
Dude,
Couldn't
that was
go.
that was that long ago. You know what I'm
That wasn't
saying?
that long ago that we couldn't actually do a thing. We couldn't have no money. Like they want us to be legitimately broke. They're like, "Oh, you getting you're paying they're paying for your housing." I'm like, "So?" Like if a dude was
Right.
in my class that was an artist and made it a painting, he could sell that painting for $250,000 and nobody gonna say nothing to him. But I can't go do an autograph signing. Joe Haden at the University of Florida make a couple $1,000s because I ain't got it. They like this. That's against the NCAA. I'm like, huh?
Yep.
If they don't, that's my name,
Dude, a
image, and likeness.
dinner, a
That's me
dinner
doing
could get
sign.
you a
Oh,
free
a
dinner
dinner.
could get you popped. You
What?
know what I'm saying?
Anything, bro. Anything. So that was crazy. Like not being able to do that and just being able to not have no money to now. These dudes are. I appreciate it. I love it. But at the same time, that's what gives them a little bit more like you can't really tell me nothing. But I mean, I don't like that part. I think they could still be able to grind, still be able to get it. Cause that's the thing. What I loved about college when we was there, I think that made us want to get it out the mud because you still didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You were
Mhm.
still in it with your boys.
Nobody wanted to go back to the situation that
All
they
y'all broke,
you
man.
know
So we
and
like this.
that's something that I see now with current players and some of their kids. It's like, yo, even me, I'm like, I done made it too comfortable for these dudes. Like,
Hmm.
my oldest son finally dropped down and started really grinding into it, but it was only after he had a couple surgeries, you know what I'm saying? And now he
Hmm.
has to have another one tomorrow. But
Yeah.
you know, I was in a situation where I'm like, yo, I gotta grind. I gotta go out here. I don't want to be in the situation I grew up in. I didn't know I was poor, Joe, until I got to college and realized, like, yo, everybody don't live how we was living back here. Like,
For
we ain't
sure.
got no
For
money.
sure.
We actually waiting. We folding up antennas to make sure you get the TV to work and all this other stuff. The
Yeah.
TV break, you gotta wait.
For
You
sure.
know? It
but
ain't
that's
just go get a new one and everything else.
like you saying too, though, that's the thing. You know, you're your surroundings. Like everybody that's around you is kind of in the same situation. The
Mhm.
internet, being able to get on TikTok, being able to see everybody how everybody's living miles away and fake living. You know what I'm saying? Because all that stuff is how
Yes,
their perspective, what they put out. You always want to live up
yes.
with the Joneses, keep up with the Joneses. When you was in your neighborhood, you was riding your bike to your man's street, up the street, and y'all was playing football in the street until the lights came back on. You wasn't sitting there looking to see, oh, what little Johnny got that lives in California with his family that's just traveling and doing that stuff. You figuring out what you got
When
going
you
on
up here window
in your
shopping,
spot
daydreaming, trying to compare your life to somebody's life that ain't even really what they putting on there.
for
They
nothing.
they just fronting. You know what
For
I'm saying?
nothing. Got you depressed, got you stressed out over something that doesn't even need to be nothing. You know what I'm
For
saying? So I
sure,
think
for
just a whole
sure.
different, it's just a whole different era, but that grind, that like wanting to get it, that
Yeah,
grit that we had, some of that stuff, you can't put it into everybody. Some people ain't built like that. You know
yeah.
what I'm
Speaking
saying?
of grind, man, like we got the top 100 come out, and I guess we got Barkley, Saquon Barkley ranked as number one. Are you surprised it's a running back at the top
I'm not gonna lie to
over a
you.
quarterback?
Uh over a quarterback, I would say yes, but Saquon is deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do think there's been like his season, his year that he had, what he did for the Eagles, what he did for the city
Right.
from New
That's what they
York.
don't understand. And I'm not surprised by it at all. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah, but I think that
Especially what he did coming to that team that year and going
yes,
and getting the ultimate goal in the game is the reason they got him. And he made that happen. He helped make that. He was a huge part of that, along with the season he had, the
hmm
plays he had. Yes, I'm not upset about it. I'm not surprised by it. I'm good with it.
I'm good with it. I'm happy for him, and I'm happy that just it shows that NFL players they don't like the way that some people saying like the contracts for running backs are going down. It just shows
Mhm.
that this is your players, your people, your peers. You know what I'm saying? They recognize your game. They like this. This dude had the best seasons, the best player in the league right now, and having Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jamar Chase,
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes right behind him speaks volumes. And I can see them saying that, man, that dude was the best player of the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes,
That's all
yes.
you want from your peers.
Hey, speaking of that, what was your highest rating, Joe?
23.
You know what your highest rating was? I don't even know what mine
23.
was.
Oh, I know that. I was watching that joint. I'm like, man, they better get me lower than low. I got the 23. I was 30, I was 39, and then 23. Yeah, 23 was my highest though.
Okay, okay. I couldn't even tell you what my highest was.
We gonna get on that research, James. I know you've been
I
on that
don't
joint
know. I ain't
several
gonna
times.
lie. I don't know. How much you think guys care about that though?
I mean, I honestly, if you just want to be recognized by your peers for
Hmm.
what you do, and that's why we I think we played it to be the best at our position. We didn't just do
Definitely.
it to be out there. So the recognition, like the grind, we're trying. We want to be the best that we can be. We're already in the league, and that's what happens. But now, once you're in the league, I want to be the best in the league. I want to be all pro. I want to go to the Pro Bowls. I want to win
Hmm.
Super Bowls. So that's just in your own mental when you competing against yourself. Like I'm
Yes.
in this joint.
Here's
I'm
the
trying to be
crazy
the best.
thing. We won our first Super Bowl, which was in 2005, Detroit, and I was a special teams player, right?
Mm,
And I mean, what I'm going to say is going to sound kind of crazy, but I was a special
okay.
teams player,
Okay.
and I was like, this don't this don't feel like what I see on TV. I'm like maybe it'll feel different, if I was a starter and
Mm,
I'm more of a part of the actual team for the whole all that. So
yeah.
you fast forward to 2008 and we win in Tampa, and I remember sitting on the podium, dude. Not even the podium. It was a camera that was out there and it had a little round cylinder around it. So I sat down on that and I'm looking around, and this could sound crazy. I was like, it still felt the same. It was like
Mm,
watching it on TV, bro, was way more exciting than actually being there and winning it. Like when you look at the TV, bro, like they sell you everything. So when you're looking at the TV, you're watching every player celebrate here, celebrate there. So it's like boom, 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 confetti, all this, do, 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 do. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I see the confetti falling. It's like cameras looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but it ain't like they show it on TV, you know?
Was your folks there? Was your family there?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I was so tired. As soon as the game hit and it was over with,
You was exhausted.
I was exhausted, bro. I sat down, I just took my helmet off, dude, and I just had my head like I was just like this, and I look up and I'm looking around, and I'm just like, damn, it still ain't like you see it on TV.
Damn, Brody. Your ass was drained, Deebo. Your ass
Yeah.
was
Oh
drained. You
yeah.
was mentally and
Bro, I took
physically
two
drained.
bags at halftime, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is this
Like
the
it was
one?
like,
Is this the one when you did the pick six?
yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, man, you couldn't breathe.
yeah.
That's why,
Yeah.
Tipo, you was exhausted.
Listen, I was actually hurt a little bit though, but because when I hit my head, my neck hit the ground first and it kind of crunched. So I
I
started to jump back up. And when I went to go jump back up, it cracked again. And RC was already standing over me. I'm like, hey, get the trainer.
get to
I
training,
couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe either though. Like real
bro.
talk.
I just couldn't believe you didn't fumble that joint too. You held on to the rock, hit your neck, and scored, Debo. That joint was
Dude, listen,
unbelievable, brother.
I had a whole squad, man. I had dudes that threw 2 blocks, bro,
Oh no, for
to
sure,
help
for
me
sure,
get down there. And
for
that was
sure.
something that we ended up practicing, dude. Like that whole week, dude, in Tampa when we were down there. And Coach LeBeau was giving us the stats on your percentages of winning if you get a turnover, if you get a
Mm.
defensive touchdown, dude. It was something like it was close to 90% you get a defensive touchdown, dude. So that whole week,
You already
it
knew.
didn't matter if we caught the ball and got a pick at the 1 yard line. The whole defense ran
Taking
through
it back
the
to the house.
block, take it to the house. They just waited for us to get back.
Hmm.
And practice made perfect.
It's a mindset. Y'all went in that joint. If somebody gets it, we taking it back to the crib.
Yes.
No matter what. No, we gonna pitch it back. If we gotta pitch it back, but I'm gonna get busy. I'm gonna jump over, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Take it
Yeah,
up the
you know what I'm saying?
side.
Like that, I had my running back skills come out. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
you
From
had it high
when
and tight,
I could
Debo.
have went, either way. At the end, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't have it high and tight no more. I was kind of holding that mud like a loaf of bread, like this. You know what I'm saying? I had it like this. The crazy thing is, when Fitz came off the side, if he had actually swiped down and just hit the ball, it would have
You
popped
got
out.
it.
He missed and hit my chest. It gave me time to cover it up.
Okay,
That
okay.
was the only thing, you know what I'm saying?
That's what
But
I
my
was
running back
saying.
skills was in play, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of running backs, we got a little thing from Thurman Thomas here. Rather than rewarding running backs for production once their rookie contracts expire, Thurman Thomas is upset that teams are instead letting them go and moving on to the next younger and cheaper player. He
Mm.
says, "You still deserve a contract. The first team you put, the first team has put you through hell, and yet I'm still ready to go. Haven't had any injuries. Now give me my damn money." It's not even receiver money. It's like we're hanging with the punters and the kickers. What
Mm.
do you what do you think of the comments first, but the use of running backs now? Like, what do you think has been the change?
I
Why
think
they don't? I mean, when you look at it, like they're getting rid of guys younger and younger. If you're not
Mhm.
one of those top 5 running backs, they're getting you out of there.
Bro, 1,000%. And like you said, Jane, you know what it is? It's a business.
Hmm.
So if they're going to use you up, rookie contract, then first 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, if you stay, that the part is that you're expected to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So the running
Right.
backs, and then you can draft a running back, they say in the second round, the third round, you can get running backs a little bit all over. Jalen Warren, for example, he's a great running back that we didn't draft high, you know what I'm saying, and ended up being
Hmm.
able to sign him for the low. So it's messed up, but understanding like Saquon Barkley's are going to be the reasons why great running backs that end up just high production. You're going to have
Hmm.
to take a shorter term deal with guaranteed money. These 2 years, fully guaranteed joints. If they're doing a 2 year for getting $15 million a year, Saquon just did a 2 year for $40 million extension. Now
Hmm.
the market, the highest paid running back is at $20 million a year.
Hmm.
Understanding he got 36 guaranteed. It's going to be more guaranteed, a shorter term deal when you start coming off your rookie contracts. And it's just because the you're going to get it's 100% injury in the NFL, and they're giving you the ball all the time. So just got to be able to get on that for a little bit shorter term deal and just bet on yourself. It sucks, but it's the NFL. That's the way that they're going, and they not
Yes, that's
trying
what
to.
that
It,
is.
it, it is a business. So just
Yeah.
keep that in perspective. And I love the way that the Eagles and Saquon, they did it right. You know what I'm saying? Cook and the Bills, just these little short-term deals with 15, 16, 17, that's solid money. Hopefully, like when you get Saquon to put it up to 20, we get another running back that continues, hopefully balls out, Bijan Robinson. Hopefully he can get up there in this next, stay healthy, get to 22. So I see it going up, but just knowing it's going to be more short-term deals with guaranteed money because it's a business. You are a running back. They can figure out, they can come get you get you find somebody coming out of college or get somebody for a little bit less that's going to do a
Yeah.
lot of this good production. Like if they
Yeah,
have a
like
great line,
when Thurman Thomas played, it was a totally, it was a totally different game.
oh
It
yeah,
was it was, it was run heavy, it was a physical game, and them guys, played longer careers because that's what the game was.
hmm
You had a big had a big offensive line, you had a big defensive line, and you went out there and you tried to push the other guy around.
you
And
had a
if
big
you had a
fullback.
good right, and if you had a good running back with you a nice fullback blocking, that's just what the game came to. Right
hmm
now, it is a pass heavy game, dude. Everything they want to do is for scoring.
hmm
They did things that help by changing the rules to make it easier for them to score.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's offensive base rules for the majority of things that's going on.
Can't touch the
Again,
quarterbacks. They make
again, the
60
wearing,
million a year.
yeah, yeah, again, the wear and tear, on a running back, especially if you're paying one running back that much, it's hard. You got
Yep.
a lot of people who are not a lot of teams. You got a few teams who are now using, a couple guys, and finding a way to get the money situated to where they can keep both. I think Detroit is one of those people that got it
Oh
too.
yes.
Got a great, two running backs over there that really, complement each other. You got a speed guy, you got a power guy, and they're having some real success, with their run game over there.
That's the best combination, the best running
Hmm.
back combination I think in the league for sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got to figure out what their contract situation is too, how much they make in a year. Because however they finagled that, other teams need to look and see how to finagle that.
Well, here's the thing. I think you gotta have guys who are willing to be like, I know what my worth is and have a realistic number of what their worth is. Although you want to get paid as much as you can,
Mm,
at some point, if you're trying to do this to actually make money and for the longevity of it, the longer you can play, the more money you can make. I
yeah.
think having two running backs is more beneficial for a person that is playing, the running back position.
No, I think so too. You're right. Wear and tear on them, half the
Hmm.
carries, and just seeing like long as that
Yes.
money's looking good for you, you don't have to be the highest person to set the market. But if you comfortable, your family's comfortable, you like your income,
Hmm.
stay right there. Keep it cruise. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you need to always shake it up, always try to get out of a situation like that. So I think for sure we're looking at if I'm gonna get the ball all the time, they're gonna keep punishing me. Is it worth it, or am I gonna be able to play a little bit longer if I got another dude with me that I'm splitting carries with, and we, you know what I'm saying, both could be here for a while and
Yeah, like you said, the
shake.
workhorses go get paid, the money's go up. But
Mhm,
as a whole at that position, it's not. I can get a guy in here that, he hasn't had multiple surgeries on his knee. He's coming in, fresh out of college. They got the rules set to where these dudes aren't getting beat up like they used to.
mhm.
And now he's hungry. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to get in there and
That's the other part.
try and take your spot. So it's easier to get that rookie contract. You get him in there for 4 years. You start looking at the next guy you want, a year or two before you got to get rid of him. I mean, you're looking at the situation right now, like you said, with the Steelers.
Mhm.
They went and got a top, a top running back, and then they went and got another running back. And who's sitting there right now with the contract, and who did they let go? This is a prime example of it. What Thurman is talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
So speaking of the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady said that Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback in NFL history. He said, Aaron, in his prime, to me, is the greatest passer of the football the league has ever seen. He could get the ball from point A to point B faster and more accurate than any player in NFL history. What do you think of those comments?
See, so I'm going to say that I agree. And this is just before I even when I was growing up. This is 2002, 2003. I'm watching Aaron Rodgers, and just from my eye test, it was Peyton Manning and Tom Brady who was the better quarterback. And I've like his in history, like trying to get the Super Bowls and all that. But with my eye test, I thought Aaron Rodgers threw the prettiest spiral, threw the best pass that I've ever seen in my life. Just the release of it, just the placement, just the way that he threw the ball. And that might not make him the greatest quarterback of all time with championships and Super Bowls. That's for other people to debate. But from my eye test, when I was watching, my best favorite quarterback I ever seen throw the ball and put it in the spot was Aaron Rodgers. And that
Yeah,
is without before Tom Brady saying this is the way I felt, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. And I would say Tom Brady greater. Peyton Manning may be greater, but with my eye testing, how you put the ball in certain spots and spin that joint like that, I've never seen nobody spin it like Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion.
I would agree with you and Tom because the biggest thing for me is the speed at which he gets it there with the accuracy that he gets it there. Believe me, I've seen it firsthand.
Mm.
And he's throwing this thing, it looks like with the flick of a wrist, dude, when he was doing it. And it's on the money.
And it's spiraling everything.
Yes, it's like
So
it's like
crazy.
it's like 3 inches right out of your reach, and
Mhm.
nobody can get it but the receiver. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yes.
coming like lightning. You know what I'm saying? Like it was impressive.
I've
Like
been
the
in
speed
situations.
was
That
in
was
it.
my first quarterback. I played him in my rookie season when I came out for the Browns. We played Green Bay in
Mhm.
Lambeau Field. First game of my career, first preseason game. He went 10 for 10 on us and threw a touchdown. That's when he had like Donald Driver. He had Jordy Nelson.
You let him go 10 for 10?
He went 10 for 10, and I'm right there in the pocket, but I can't touch the ball. The receiver can touch the ball. Bink right out of my grip.
Yes,
So he
yes.
he caught the joint, and then I tackled him. Catch and tackle. But I'm like, oh my, I'm right here. Why are you still throwing it? Oh, that's a pick. No, it's not. Oh my God. Right out of my reach. Like I'm
Mhm.
falling, diving for the ball.
You
But like,
know who I think was great, like really great at throwing you out of being able to pick the ball? It was Tom, dude. You'd be like, oh, I done broke on this. And he would throw the ball to where it's going over your head to the receiver over his shoulder. And you
just
like,
by a
you done
little bit.
broke, dude.
Just by a little
Yes.
bit.
Yes. Looping it. Yes.
In it, bro. So I know you know been the same. Jordy Nelson, I'm right there. And I'm like, he threw the fade ball, and I'm right there. And it went right over my hand. I'm like, this dude is unbelievable. He's trying me, and I can't touch it. I haven't touched the ball yet.
You couldn't even knock one down,
I
Joe.
didn't get no PBUs. None, not one. All completions. They was catching it and I was tackling them. I was like, oh my God. Like this, right on my hand. Oh my God, he got it. Tackle. Bro, it was crazy.
How many times you had that game, baby?
Man, how many times he threw it on me? Three. I had three tackles. That man with three, he went 10 for 10. I told you he went 3 for 3 on me. Had three good tackles. Boom. Low
solid,
tackles.
solid
Right,
tackles though. You made sure
rock
it
and
wasn't no
roll.
yak though.
No yak, zero
No
yak.
yak at all. Zero
Yeah.
yak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? That was crazy. It was
Where was
crazy.
that at?
It was in Lambeau Field, 2010.
Was
My
it
rookies.
cold? It felt like to me, dude, he got banged
Nah,
in the cold, man.
it
I
was
ain't gonna
beautiful
lie.
outside. It was a
Was it?
beautiful day. It was fucking August.
Yeah, he was whipping that thing.
Man, he was spinning that ball so well. Yep, yep, yep.
That's yeah, that's one of those things you can't, it's nothing you can do to defend great throws
No,
and speed of the
no,
ball, man.
no. It's not about me. It's about Aaron. It had nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
I
it's
was a
all about it's
I
all
was a
about
nameless, I was a
it's
nameless gray
nothing to do
face.
with you. It's all
I was a
about him.
nameless gray face. He saw through me that day. He saw through all of us.
Dude, speaking to do about none about him or nothing about you, let's roll over here to Miami, man. I guess Miami announced that they're captains for 2025 season, and
Mhm.
there was no Tyreek on it. I guess for the first time since 2022, he was not voted a captain. Uh, Mike McDonald Mike McDonald had a very revealing quote. He said, "We were focused on giving the keys to the cap to the captains, so to guys that had earned
Uh-oh.
hold on, to guys that had earned it each and every day. That's what speaks to me the most is the football team that knows who it wants to be led by. Captaincy to the guys. I got you. All right. So with that, Tariq not being selected, are you surprised? What's your reaction to that?
I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. I'm not surprised at all. Did you know, you remember at the end of the season, he
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm trying to be
Mm-hmm.
out of here. And you know, that could definitely at the end of the season,
Not only am I trying to be out of here, this man pulled himself out the game in the third quarter.
come on, brother. So we acting like these are other grown men. These are your teammates that are
Mhm.
voting for the captain. They seen that and like they wouldn't. People just not gonna vote for that. You know what I'm saying? They don't feel like you all in. And you said you wasn't all in. I mean, you apologize and everything, but that's cool. You still gonna be able to come in there. They're gonna respect you, and as long as you go out there and work. These
Yes,
grown men, I want you to work. I want you to play every day, be on time for meetings. And when you out there, grind. And when you on the field, grind and try to be the best you can be. Be Tyreek. That's all I need. I need nothing. No more, no less. But making you a captain after you said what you said, I'm not gonna go in there feeling no type of way, but you can actions speak louder than words. You can show me better than you can tell me. You coming in there, working, grinding, doing what you got to do, leading by
hmm
example is what it's gonna be. But just it's okay you're not a captain. I was on the teams where I was felt like I was a leader a couple of times that I wasn't a captain. I was never a captain when I was on the Steelers. That's Cam Hayward, TJ. It's going to be a certain amount of captains. So when they come there, then you know you still going to be a valuable part. Just don't be bringing bad vibes. Come in here, do your job, and it's going to be what it is. Maybe next season, if you come in there, show leadership, do what you got to do, then you could be a captain. But you know how that is. You told us you
you
didn't want
gotta,
to be a
yeah,
part. They ain't going. I'm not voting for you.
yeah. I think he let his emotional state right then get him into a situation that if he had just sat back and had time to cool off and
Mhm.
think about it, I don't think he would have did and said the same things at that point. I mean,
Thousand
when you
percent.
go back to it, that's his first time ever not being in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah.
His first time, I believe, having a losing season in the NFL.
Hmm.
So
You're right.
I think it was a knee-jerk reaction, to a situation that, he saw as a permanent situation that may
Hmm.
continue and was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be out of here.
Do you
But when you
think? Do
do
you
that,
think? Do you think it's cool though that he's not going to be a captain? Do you realize you understand? Do you
I'm
think like
cool with it,
you
dude.
cool with it? Okay.
I'm 100% cool with it, dude. I have no issue with it at all.
Okay.
Like you said, the team voted it. According to them, the team voted it. They made it to where they spoke by who they voted for, and
Mm.
that speaks for itself. It's sometimes where you know some teams you vote, but they end up picking who they want. You
No.
know what I'm saying? Uh, what you laughing for, Joe?
Uh, I mean, you that could be could be
Yeah, I'm just
could be
saying.
could
I've
be
heard I've
could
heard
be.
of it
I
happening.
heard I heard I've heard. I would like to hope that it's like the lottery and it's legit, but you never know.
You never know unless you see it for yourself, and then you saw it and So I'm just saying, there's some teams that actually do um, pick who it is they want to be the leader for their team, and sometimes they disguise it under the pretense of that's who the guys pick.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard when it comes down to and guys are like, "You pick who? You pick who? Like who? Who voted for who?"
Okay.
You
So
see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you saying you just saying I'm catching what you putting down. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to,
I'm just saying that
I'm
that happens. So
okay, okay,
yeah, that's all I was saying.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. But him not being voted, I mean, he even had, he even understood it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for
He
sure,
took
bro.
accountability, for what he said. He's not surprised that he wasn't voted captain.
Yeah,
He's going to have to go in there and earn these guys, trust back and all that. You say that, you're basically saying that you don't want to be with us no more because we trash. Like you can't
it's
say that because
it's
you're not saying like us, you're saying like it's you, Joe, you're trash. I don't want to be here. I need to get out of here because I can go and do way more without y'all. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. He's telling y'all are trash. I'm out.
Yeah.
I've won on other teams. I need to go where the
Right.
I was in Kansas City. They were better than y'all. I need to go back.
Yes.
That's what they felt like.
For sure. Now we skip on over to Dallas, man. Trayvon Diggs has finally came out and
That's what I'm
defended
talking about.
Micah, saying that he felt everyone in Dallas, current locker room, like Micah, and thinks the rumors likely came from former Cowboys. He said, I think everyone liked him. I feel like there's some former players who are not here no more who didn't like Micah. There was a lot of us, I would say, there was a lot of, I would say, hate, jealousy, envy towards him because of who he is and the production he does on the field. Imagine if you came in here and you're thinking and you're taking somebody else, so you're taking somebody's shine or taking somebody's spot. You're not going to like that. They're going to feel a type of way, especially if you're that type of person. Ooh, that sounds like shots fired.
It
He
does.
didn't name any names, but I mean, do you think Diggs was referring to DeMarcus Lawrence?
Oh, I mean, that sounds about right. They were
I
same
mean, you
position.
take somebody's spot. They was I don't. I'm just asking a question. I ain't.
Look, that's what I don't know. My name Bennett and I ain't in it, but
I
I'm
mean, the descriptions of what he's saying. It says, I think everyone liked him. I feel like there's some former players who are not here no more who didn't like Micah. There was a lot of, I would say, hate, jealousy, envy. Those are personal words
mhm.
towards him because of who he is and the production he does on the field. So imagine if you came in here and you're taking somebody's shine. So he was taking somebody's shine, right? And taking somebody's spot. You're not going to like that, right?
No,
You're going to feel a type of way, especially if you're that type of person. Now he's saying that person is that type of person too. So I don't, I'm just asking a question to you. Like, do you think he was referring to anybody in specific? Maybe DeMarcus Lawrence, or I don't know.
he
Do you
is
think yes or no?
this what I
Could
think.
it possibly be?
I That's what I'm saying. It sounds like he's talking about somebody to play defensive end because he said
Mhm.
taking his spot. So
Right.
if we don't go from there, a
Dissect it. Yes.
previous defensive end that did there. Um, I would say I love Trevon Diggs coming out because nobody's really came out in defense of Michael Parsons. I
Mhm.
know that these dudes kick it. They hang out. That's
Mhm.
his boy. So from Trayvon's perspective, it could be literally what it is. Like that's my man's. We cool. Trayvon also has his bag and knows that Micah Parsons out there balling deserves his bag. He's been playing with me. We've been doing this together. So he's out there, I think, trying to defend for his mans. I don't know of the person that's not on the team anymore, but it sounds like another defensive end that was there that maybe say Deebo, say it's like, yeah, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like the same situation when we have it's like you and TJ come in where he's like, they not maybe they didn't tell DeMarcus. Maybe they tried to play with him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like they tried to play with you and TJ a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's probably how it was. And DeMarcus don't play that. So he's probably vocalized how he felt. You know what I'm saying? And I think that some of that stuff, it doesn't have nothing to do with maybe Micah and Micah and his relationship as much as he thinks with DeMarcus and the Cowboys organization. You know what I'm saying? He might have talked to them, maybe not rocking. Oh, you drafted this dude. Oh, who? What do y'all think's going on? I'm just trying to go from devil's advocate because there's always two sides of the story. I don't know what happened with Micah. I don't know what happened with DeMarcus, with Trayvon, what he's saying. I'm just trying to put pieces of the puzzle, but I just
I
sounding
mean,
like
the
where it's
puzzle,
coming
yeah,
from,
the puzzle kind of fitting, the pieces is fitting
you know,
when you line it up. So I think it's a possibility. Will I give a definite yes or no?
no,
I can't do that.
no,
That's not
we can't do that. That would not be
that would be
that
disingenuous
a thousand
to
percent.
the
That's
argument.
come on, Debo.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
So now speaking of Michael Parsons,
Mhm.
uh, Dan Campbell said, Dan Campbell, we know what kind of player Michael Parsons is. We'll have a plan. Does Michael Parsons put the Packers over the Lions in the NFC North? Do you think?
I mean, it helps him out a lot. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, the Packers are not a bad team. Jordan Love has been playing really good. They did good last season. And with just adding another defensive player, that's gonna help out their secondary. That's gonna help out their pass rush.
Hmm.
And I don't think they have nowhere to go but up since Jordan Love with another year under his belt. He's done nothing but prove to me that he can actually be a franchise quarterback. So with if he can be a franchise quarterback and Micah Parsons can help that defense out
Hmm.
because they don't look bad. They look like they're on the up and up. They're drafting well. They're moving in the right direction. So Packers are up for me. And like I said before, I seen them. They made a Reggie White trade with a quarterback. They made a Charles Woodson trade with the quarterback, and
Hmm.
now they got Jordan Love, and then they made this Michael Parsons trade. I'm liking them dudes knowing when they need to get a crazy piece on defense because they have a franchise quarterback. So I think the Packers is looking like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with I think it puts the Packers as the guys in the NFC North right now. You added in a pass rusher. The games that they've played over the last year or two have been close games. When you take into account, that the Lions, I believe, lost their O and D coordinator to head coaching positions. You got a change
Mhm.
right there. You got Hutchinson coming back off of messing up his leg. You got
Yep.
to build that confidence back at going out there, especially how he ended up messing his leg up. It was
Hmm.
just swung around, so you got to get used to
Wonder
where
how
hey,
long
it's
that's gonna
time.
take.
I I hit and swing around is he's back full 100%, but to get out there and live action when those bodies are flying around is a little different.
Yep.
But I think having Micah there and you add him in there with the current defensive line that they have, I think it puts them over the top. These 3-point games, that's going to go ahead and actually change where it's a sack fumble now. And
Yep.
that 3-point game can be a switch from, a loss to a win of 3 points or 6 points or 7 points, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
So
They brought in a game changer.
yes, definite game changer. Like it's no question about it. Yeah.
So
So,
now let's get back to our Steelers then.
okay. What you want to hit? Tell me what
I
this
want to
next
talk
guy.
about your man, Adam Scheffler. Schefter is talking about Cam Hayward maybe sitting out for the season opener.
Cam sitting off for the season. What's going on over there? Give
I
me.
don't, I don't, I don't,
I think he
what,
got 2 years left on his contract, don't he?
he just signed a 2 year extension. He got 2 more years
When?
left. I think he signed a 2 year extension last offseason, which gave him this year and next year for contracts. So he got this year.
Oh,
He has a
okay.
deal for next year. So last offseason, he signed a 2 year extension because he only had 1 year left on his deal. So then he played that, and now he has this one and next year from the extension he signed last year.
Yeah, so he did sit out a portion of training camp and didn't rule out sitting the start of the regular season until he gets what he wants. Hayward was practicing with the team on Monday, which suggests he's going to play. But Adam Scheffner says there's still a possibility Cam Hayward doesn't suit up. They're not, they have not been able to figure it out. And so I would think it's going to be really interesting to see if Cam Hayward is on the practice field on Wednesday as the Steelers get ready for their See, as the Steelers get ready to open their season on Sunday against the Jets, it's about to get interesting there. And again, maybe Cam Heyward says, I'm not going to play on this deal. It didn't sound that way earlier in the summer, but we'll find out. What the deal look like, Joe?
The
What's
deal
left
was
on the deal?
the deal was 2 years, 29 million. So first year this season, this year he'll be making 14.7,
Mhm.
and next year he'll be making like 14.2. So I think he's looking. I mean, I love the Steelers because I mean, this is going to be Cam's going to year what 13, year 13, 14. So I mean, his production and everything, I understand what he's saying. It has not slipped. So there's defensive tackles. I think it's up there. Well, defense, we got defensive ends, obviously now, $47 million a year with Micah Parsons. We got TJ Watt at 41. We got Myles Garrett at 40. And he's kind of looking at it with him making 14.7 Pro Bowls and all that stuff. Like just like maybe they don't deserve double what I'm getting. I mean, maybe they deserve double of what I'm getting, not triple. So he's making 14.6. Maybe Cam just wants a little $6 million bonus, you know what I'm saying, to make it around 20 million. But he did sign the extension. I can see where the Steelers are coming from, where, man, Cam, this is going to be year 13, year 14. We got 14.7, we got 14.2 the next 2 years.
That
You know
ain't
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
that
You
ain't no
good to go.
slouch.
We're giving you real bread. So I can see where they're coming from. And then with Cam as the player, as production wise, what he has done is a little up from what his contract is making, but
Hmm.
you can see how it's a little bit of both. This is like his fifth contract with the Steelers, and it's not bad deal. Like
This
for
yeah, it's
being a
not.
defensive tackle on year 13, 14, making 14.7, 14.2, those are good numbers. Those are good
Yeah,
numbers for,
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a disrespectful thing, but for Cam being the player, knowing this is going to be kind of his way out, trying to get as much as he
Mhm.
possibly can, because it is a business. He knows if he
Yes,
was playing bad, they might have did some other stuff with him.
they
They
might
could
have
have
let it
easily,
go.
they could have just let him slide. You know what I'm saying? But he
Mhm.
knows the reason why he is still there is because of his production. It's not no friendly stuff. It is
Right.
because, you know what I'm saying, I'm performing on the field. So
Yeah, I don't know what it is that makes me think that he's not going to sit out unless I tell you what, I see Cam sitting out only if in his head he's saying, I'll retire if you don't give me what I want. That's the only way I see him sitting out. Because if you sit out, like you got 2 years on your deal, what you gonna do? Sit out till it's over with for a couple years?
yeah. And at the
I
same
think the only
time,
way he would sit out is if the thought process is if I don't get what I want, I'm not going to play for this and I'll just retire because it's not worth it
mhm,
for me to do it at this number and put my body through whatever it is that I need to do
yeah,
to get ready and stay ready for the season. That's the only way I see him actually
he
not
could.
playing this year is that he says,
That sounds like an Aaron Donald, like an Aaron Donald. Knowing end of the day, he can walk away
"Mhm,
unless he gets the number he wants. If he doesn't feel like $14 million a year,
it's
touching after
enough, right?
taxes at 8 million to go to this thing where he's like, no, I should be making 20, or I could tuck 10, 11, like $12 million, you know what I'm saying, after this season, then it's just really he's good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that
Mhm,
sounds crazy to say, but being able to be in Cam and be in the position that he is, like with his body, with his family,
mhm,
not wanting to do it, that would be, I think, like you said, that'd be the way, being able to sit out and be like this, I'm willing to walk away. But I think Cam's still ready to play, still wants to go. And if you do play Cam, you still got another 30 M's, you know what I'm saying, coming in these next 2 seasons. So I will hunker down.
yeah, I would. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I will hunker
I
down.
did it for way less, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
uh,
What?
but I wasn't trying to count anything else. But what was good enough for me to go out there and play and be okay with it.
A
So
thousand percent. And that's on Cam. He knows this number. He knows what's gonna make him good and what he feels like he deserves. So more
yeah,
power to him, because that's my good man. He a baller. He gonna hopefully everything works out for sure.
hopefully it works out. Even if it don't, hopefully it still works out. You know what I'm
Come on.
saying?
Can't
Uh,
look. We talking about my man taking 14-7 or getting some more money. So it's a win-win.
No question. So Matthew Stafford will start the season opener against the Texans. Will Stafford finish the season as he deals with an aggravated disc in his back?
I don't know. I don't know. I love Matthew Stafford, man. I played against him since he was at Georgia and I was at Florida. He had AJ Green there. So we had some battles ever since 2008. So that I love his game. He also has a cannon of an arm, great competitor, plays hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I really, really love his game. But you know that thing, that health, that thing is always gonna catch up with you. Can't nobody run away from that. So I think as long as his line tries to keep him upright, but he's a gangster. He's gonna stay in the pocket. He's gonna stare down the barrel. So I mean, it's just I don't know. Depending on
I
what that
think
line looks like, I don't know.
I think as long as he doesn't have a catastrophic event where it like just totally herniates, he'll be able to make it. Because I myself went through a whole 14 weeks all the way up to the Super Bowl where I had herniated disc in my back.
Damn.
And it was the year we ended up losing to Green Bay in the Super Bowl. So I'm sitting there, dude, and as the beginning of the week goes on, I'm taking the tee shot, and
Mhm.
the tee shot would make it go away. So I would play, my first game it was cool, second game it was a cool, third game I took the tee shot, and I'm like, yo, I can still feel something. So I believe it was the fourth game came along, and it wasn't touching it no more. I'm like, yo, like y'all got to check out what's going on. I'm getting these pains down my legs, like I'm getting the sciatic pain, I'm getting this stinging pain in my Achilles, all that, and it got to the point to where I was playing and I go to step on that foot to turn the corner, dude. My whole leg just boom gone.
Oh
I
no.
just fall, right? So they did an MRI. They do the MRI. I go in and they're like, get the MRI report, and doc like, yo, you need to come in. So I go in, and he's testing me out, and he's like, James, just looking at your back, I would say that you need to have something done right now. He said, but you testing out strong and all that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm strong when I'm strong, but when it ain't, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, it was an option of get the surgery now. You're out 6 weeks, right? Or get the surgery after the season. So I'm like, well, let's just get the surgery now, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, end up talking to, I guess the training staff and everything else and whatever. And they're like, well, let's just go until, you can't go anymore, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I'm willing to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I want to play. I want to win. I want to help my team. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked at my dudes as family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's 100%
What
the
year was
family.
this?
This was 2010, man. But the
Okay.
year, the year before they locked us out. So I go and I'm playing, and dude, I had two times where, I had one time they had to come get me. I couldn't get out of bed, bro. I had two times where I actually got a epidural, dude, on a
Like a
Friday.
pregnancy epidural?
Yes, so they take and they do it, fluoroscope guided, and they go to the site where the disc is, and they inject cortisone and some numbing stuff. Sorry, cortisone. Yeah, cortisone and some numbing stuff. So when they hit it, it's like boom. I'm like, oh, because it's taking that pressure off of the nerve that the disc is pressing on. So it was, it
Hmm.
was my it was my S1 L5 L5 L4. It was my lumbar, so it was pressing on those nerves. That's why I was getting the sciatic, and that's why a couple times my leg just drop and give out on me. You know what I'm saying? I lose
That's
power and all that.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So I go and I play through it.
But you
We
played
go.
the whole season with that
Mhm.
being able to go
I
in
played,
and
I
out.
played, yeah, I played 12 weeks with it being able, and I also was getting a lot of soft tissue work. So I was doing things like, I was getting dry needled. So I was getting my paraspinals needle, which is the muscles in between your spine to make sure that, I was able to keep that as loose as possible so it didn't squeeze down on that nerve, right?
What was your practice schedule like? Did
I
you have to
practice normal, bro.
practice normal?
I practice normal. I didn't change nothing about my practice, bro. Like I love to practice because I'm not a person that could sit there and look at a scheme. I need to be out there doing it. I need to feel what I'm gonna get.
No, no,
Like,
no, for
yeah.
sure.
So I go through that whole thing, man. I get through the season and we get done, we lose the Super Bowl, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. They like, well, let's go ahead and do the surgery now. I'm like, let's hold off. You said it's a possibility that it could retract back, whatever, da 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 da, right? So they're like,
Hmm.
well, they're about to
Wow.
lock us out. I don't know if you want to wait that long. And it's kind of close to the nerves that control your bowel and bladder function. I say, what that mean? Well,
And
if
you
it
gonna
hits
poop on
that,
yourself.
you get piss and poop on yourself.
That's what I thought it meant.
I'm
Dang,
like, so
you gotta do the
y'all
surgery
ain't tell
then,
me
man.
this.
I could have been
Y'all
shitting
ain't
all over
telling
the
me this
field.
back 12 weeks ago. Like, come on. So ended up getting the surgery. And here's the crazy thing. It's like I know my body so well, bro, that I'm sitting there and I'm like 7 days out of surgery. And I'm like, Doc, hey, something ain't right. I'm still feeling a little something on there. Like, oh, it might be, Trent said, oh, it might be swelling or whatever. Da, 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 da. I'm like, no, it ain't swelling. I know my body, man. It's not. So they had me go do another MRI. He come back in. He said, yeah, we got to go back in. We ain't get it all.
Oh,
So
what they missed, Debo?
they had to go up another level. He was trying to be conservative and keep as much this in there as he could, but he couldn't. So he went back in. So I had two back surgeries in 9 days and didn't do none of my therapy with the team because they locked us out. So I did all my therapy with my trainer in Arizona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I think that was the best thing that ever
because
happened
you
for
went
me,
and did
dude.
that. He took care of you.
Yes, definitely, dude. Definitely. I know guys that had it done, and I think one or two guys had it done the same year I did, and neither one of them played more than 2 more years after that. I played another 7. So, I did the right thing to take care of my body to make sure that I actually helped fix what was causing the issue. That's like a lot of guys who go and have these knee issues and they say, oh, well, it's just wear and tear. Well, it ain't wear and tear. It's probably a muscle, especially when it's in your knee. It's a muscle that's somewhere in your quad, your hamstring, even in your calf that's not firing the same. So if
Mhm.
you fix that firing of the mechanism of the muscle, the knee now works in that same groove correctly and you don't get the wear and tear. But what they do is they treat the symptom. The symptom is that it's now not moving correctly, and the symptom is it's now shaving off cartilage. So what do? They go in there, drain your knee, or they scope it down instead of actually fixing the problem.
They
That
went to the
what?
worst part, the very
Yes,
real piece. Yeah,
yes,
putting
definitely.
band-aids on stuff.
Right, right, right.
Hmm.
So I think it's a possibility as long as he has a good team behind him that he could finish the year, like I said, bearing any real, catastrophic thing that would cause it to actually totally herniate or God
I'm gonna
forbid
tell you,
rupture. You know
that's
what I'm
just
saying?
man, that's his left tackle making sure he don't get blown by, and he Matthew
Oh yeah,
Stafford
listen,
back
it's
blown.
so easy to get that back blown out
I'm
from
telling you, man, that quarterback, man, the quickest way
Woo.
Matthew Stafford be out of there is a blind side.
So Vegas has Lamar Jackson as the top for the MVP odds. Reigning MVP, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and their I can't see that word. Hairs beneath beyond him are plus 600. And Patrick Mahomes rounding out the top four at plus 650. Ooh. Is this the year Lamar Jackson puts it all together and not only wins the MVP, but puts up the Lombardi trophy, brother? What do you think?
So obviously, we in the North, play for the Steelers,
That's why I'm saying no.
play
I'm
for the
hating.
Browns. I know you gonna hate.
I'm a
I'm
hate.
I'm from Maryland. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, this is my thing. Patrick Mahomes has so many of the rings. He's controlling the AFC North. I love him. I love Patrick Mahomes too. He's a good man, him and Trav. But what I want is Lamar. I just don't want people to keep disrespecting Lamar's greatness. And I don't think if he doesn't get a Super Bowl ring, then people won't understand how great Lamar Jackson really is and what he's really doing in this league. So, I mean, he's going to MVP odds every season, regular season. They're going to ball out. Lamar Jackson has his legs. He's quick. He's fast. He's going to do Lamar Jackson things the whole season. And they got a
But
solid defense,
do
too.
you think he's going to get that Lombardi this year?
I thought for real it was last year. So this year, I'm going to say no. I thought last year was the year. They looked so good. I was honestly quietly rooting. I was rooting for him. I was rooting for Lamar. But then last year, when I was like this, what happened? It just didn't happen.
Yeah, it seems like they get into the playoffs and
And
it's
it
either,
turned
health issues with guys not being there, and then they just unravel. I don't
and
know.
I
I
wanted
don't know
for
what
him.
it is. I don't know what's
Wanted for him.
going on.
Wanted for him.
I
I
don't,
want,
yeah. But
I
I ain't
just
gonna
don't.
lie. I would rather anybody else win it except for Cleveland, Cincinnati, or Baltimore.
I was okay. I know what you're saying, but I know what you're saying.
Bro, I'm hating. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think we about
Bro,
out
look,
time, man.
you
Listen,
gotta be honest. Be honest. Obviously, you don't want them to win.
no
So
question,
let us
no
know that.
question, bro. No
Let us know
question.
that.
Listen,
Let us
like I
know
said,
that.
we about out of time, man. Want to thank you guys for joining us for this podcast of Deebo and Joe. Hit the like button, subscribe. We'll be back at it on Friday.
We'll be back Friday. Make sure you subscribe to Deebo and Joe, or I'm gonna have Deebo. Oh, yo.
I don't even know what this is, but I think that's my son's way of putting up 3 now. I told him to put it up like that, but I don't know if he's listening. But this is 3 now. I seen it in a movie where it got a dude killed because he was supposed to put up 3, but he put up 3 like this, and they knew that that wasn't the right 3 because that area they put up 3 like this, so they knew he was a spy.
You gotta
Got shot up. All right, now y'all have a good one. We'll get back to you on Friday. Peace.